Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be making another chicken dish. So I'm just going to dice up some chicken. Okay, this was the worst butchered meat I've gotten in a while. There was lots of little hard spots like cartilage or bone that I had to cut out. And then there was one piece that was about 1 inch long. But I've got it all ready to go. So I'm going to put some olive oil in a pan and get this ready for cooking. Alright, so I'm just going to turn on medium high and get some olive oil in the pan. And let that heat up. So while the oil's getting hot, I'm going to put the chicken in a bowl and we're going to put in some paprika. I'm going to do about a teaspoon, maybe just a little less, and some pepper, about a half teaspoon, and salt, and all of this is going to be to taste. Alright, and I'm just going to take my hands and mix it around. Try to get some seasoning on all pieces. It's also good to do this in a plastic baggie. Still needs to heat up a little more. Okay, and we're just going to start dropping the pieces in. Maybe if you need to add a little more oil, we'll just keep an eye on it. Okay, so I've got a lid on it, and I'm just going to keep an eye on this and let it cook until these pieces are done, and then we're going to put them in a bowl, and then we will start on the vegetables. And now I'm going to peel some zucchini. The recipe actually calls for zoodles, but I'm going to use diced zucchini instead. Okay, this recipe called for zoodles, and I'm not going to make zoodles. I'm just going to dice up my zucchini. And I think I'm going to add 1 yellow squash. Okay, so I am going to just chunk up my vegetables. And you don't have to peel your zucchini and squash. Mine were just a little rough because they're fresh out of the garden, and they weren't pretty. So I was taking so many spots off that I decided to go ahead and just do it this way. Those are so thin, I'm not going to cut them any smaller. Alright, and now we also are going to need some onions. I'm just going to push these aside. I love to use this for onions. I've already been chopping a few, so if you see onions in the bottom there, that's why. Then I turn this sideways. You can still see it, but it's a little handier for me. Just going to do the whole onion. We'll use most of it, maybe not all of it. And just like that, a ton of diced onions. I like to do this about once a week and keep some diced in the refrigerator for things that I'm going to be cooking, not necessarily needing a fresh onion raw, but it's very handy. I use the little snack bags and I fill it up different amounts based on what I know that I usually use in foods that I cook every day. And then if I need to pull two, I can, but it's always handy to have this already done. And I have some fresh bell peppers. The flesh is not real thick on these, but for cooking I think it'll be fine. And because the flesh isn't very thick, I'm just going to make the pieces bigger when I chop them. This little machine here is also good for chopping your peppers. Just a tip though, when you put them under the blade, I would lay the skin side down. That seems to work a little bit better than the skin side up, because with the skin side up it wants to push the flesh through, but has a hard time cutting the skin. But it definitely works. I definitely do that. It will also work really great if you're making squash relish. I did that last year and it was a breeze, popping those squash through there. And the pieces are nice and small. So for any kind of relish, that would work great. I'm also going to dice up some tomatoes. And they've got some bad spots on them, so we're just going to cut around it. A serrated knife works much better for tomatoes, especially when they're soft and ripe. The recipe actually calls for aroma, but use whatever tomato you have. Okay, that's all the vegetables we're going to need. Alright, so we're going to move the chicken to a bowl. You can see it's nice and white, no pink. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil and put some onions in. Now, I like onions. You don't have to put this many. Once these cook down a little, I'll be adding some garlic as well. You can also use garlic powder if you prefer. I'm also heavy-handed with garlic. I'm going to go ahead and add in the peppers. If you really want to make it colorful, you could use the red, orange, and yellow peppers as well. I'm going to add the lid back on there. Let those peppers steam a little. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the zucchini and tomato. It does call for oregano and basil. I'm just going to put in some Italian seasoning. Now I've already salt and peppered the meat, so I'm not going to add any salt and pepper to this. I'm going to add the chicken back in. And put the lid back on. We're just going to let that cook for a while till everything sort of marries together in there. Okay guys, and that is done. It's like a one bowl meal, but you could definitely serve it with potatoes or rice or something else as well. But a great way to use your fresh garden produce. Have a great week guys. See you later.